Hello, hello. So today we're going to talk about quantum leap and especially your way to a quantum leap in 2025. So my name is Peggy van der Plassche. This podcast is the Microdose Diet, where we spoke about all things health and wellness, with a good twist of personal development and alternative therapies. So I belong to tons of coaching groups like masterminds, communities, and maybe you do as well. And maybe you know that it is a tradition when the year finishes to pick the word of the year for next year. And this year, it's very clear that quantum leap is a true winner, followed very closely by transformation, with a close second. So, what does it tell you, beside the fact that we're all trying to summarize our life's intention in one word? Well, we want change and not just small change. We want big ass transformation. So, what does quantum leap really mean, actually? So, quantum leap is in daily life. We are going to go back to a physics definition in a second. It's a sudden, significant change that takes you to a new level, whether it's a mindset shift, a new habit, a breakthrough moment. And this term is borrowed from physics. So quantum leap means electrons jump between energy levels instantly. So it's like skipping the small steps and really making a bold move forward. So in really summary, quantum leap is a fast, transformative jump towards a better version of yourself and your life. So the first question that we know what quantum leap is leaping where? And your quantum loop doesn't have to be career or finance related. I know that we are supposed to be obsessed with our career and our money and that it should always come first, but our money and career are a result of who we are. Let me repeat that. Our money and career are a result of who we are. So there is a case to be made for focusing on you first and your values. That is, if you want authentic success and not to realize in 15 years that you chased all the wrong goals and climbed the wrong ladder. I know what I'm talking about. So your quantum leap could be in health, in fitness, in personal relationships, community, spiritual development, personal growth, anyway, you name it. Can also be in finance and career, but it doesn't have to be. So, what is the first step for a quantum leap? Mhm. Calm the fuck down. So, to create meaningful change, the first step is to calm your mind and your body. Nothing great comes from panic, overwhelm, and anxiety. So, that really is the first step. The second step is change the inputs. If you want extraordinary results, meaning a quantum leap, you need to change what you are doing. We all know Einstein definition of insanity, which is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. But we all fall in that trap of doing the same thing but expecting different results. So you're going to have to change the inputs. And which is bringing me again to microdosing psychedelics. This is why I advocate for microdosing. First, it helps calm your mind and body so you can be in a position to make the right decisions and even actually see options. Second, it boosts your creativity. So you're going to have more ideas, more insights to help you move closer to your quantum leap. And third, by incorporating microdosing, this is by itself already a significant change in your inputs. So, I mean, I know people, we all love social proof and it's always very powerful. So since I launched the Brain Power Microdose, so which is my microdosing products, I launched it in December last year. So it's barely 12 months ago. Hundreds of people have experienced its benefits, and you can check my website to see the testimonial, which are anonymous, of course. So, and if psychedelics are not for you, I'm launching actually a new product that's going to be called the Legal Brain Power Microdose. I know it's a bit tongue in cheek, and it will deliver similar benefits, but without the psychedelic. So you're always on the right side of the law. You can, again, check my website, put yourself on the wait list. So, again, microdosing is a great way, whether you're doing psychedelics or not, great way to calm yourself, change your inputs, and really get ready for that quantum leap. So, what makes sense for you? I think that's something that's really important as you're contemplating where you'd like to be. I see that every day in my own life as an entrepreneur, everything that I am supposed to do, the morning routine, the funnel, the tripwire, the social media, the community. I mean, it's like a never-ending list. And most of these things actually don't even resonate with me. First, I don't like this baiting and switching approach that is prone by most solopreneur. I don't like pretending that the microdose diet is the only transformational approach out there or a magical one. And I'm not interested in what I am supposed to think, what I'm supposed to look, what I'm supposed to like, to eat, to buy, to go, to do. I never liked anything that was popular, places, activities, and people. So what makes sense for you? Start there, pick and choose. You will save a lot of time, money, and energy by really focusing on what it means to your authentic self versus what you're supposed to do. So again, let go of what you are supposed to do mindfully. And what I mean by that is that you're going to have limiting beliefs and emotional wounds that are going to pop their ugly head, rear their ugly heads, and they will be behind some of the resistance you have into doing things that might actually be good for you. And that is what is challenging sometimes, is that we don't do things that are good for us because of this block. So I had tons of limiting belief. One of my limiting belief was everything that was reasonable was boring. And that was also mixed with a good dose of powerlessness. So it was very easy first to see where all these beliefs came from, but that's another conversation. But these beliefs were preventing me from being consistent and making the choices that were actually good for me, regardless of whether these choices were popular choices. I was not making the right choices for myself because of this limiting belief. So when you're blazing your own trail, I recommend you make a mindful stop at your limiting belief to ensure that your trailblazing is coming from the right place and not from a fear of scarcity, a desire to impress, a fear of rejection, whatever it might be. So again, take stock before deciding what and where you want your quantum leap, because otherwise you're going to, again, probably pick the wrong area and do it in a way that might not make a lot of sense. So one thing I want to talk about is about writing your own playbook. If you know me, you hear me all the time talking about writing your own playbook. And here I'm going to make a parallel with a book I'm sure you've heard or read about, which was about like blue ocean strategy versus red ocean strategy. And that is really about operating in less crowded area, especially of business in that context. So but I want to expand this thinking into doing you. So it doesn't have to be necessarily business related. Authenticity is very uncrowded because there is only one you. So do things your way instead of everybody's way. Do your things instead of everybody's things. So soon you'll be in your own blue ocean, and actually you will be the blue ocean. So you don't have to talk about what everyone is talking about. You don't have to go where everyone is going. You don't have to do what everyone is doing. So if you don't care about going to the cottage, the right tennis club, Nosara, or talking about Musk, AI, startups, innovation, or believing in manifesting or that money is energy, or whatever your specific ecosystem seems to be mesmerized by, then just don't. But if you are very enthused, truly enthused, authentically enthused by these topics, then by all means go ahead. But please just stop for a minute and think for yourself. Do I really give a fuck about the latest trend and buzzword? And I can tell you the chances are you don't. So this approach applies to your career management. You don't have to play by others' rules. Chances are, anyway, you will not win because these strategies have already been overused and they were put in place by people who fit exactly these rules. Obviously, if I'm putting together a board game, well, I'm going to put a board game where tall French women have a head start. Well, it's the same thing with career. People who put the work organizations in place, well, they put it for it to be successful for people like them. And if you're not a traditional person, well, you're unlikely to be winning. So don't even try. Just play by your own rules. And, if you are being authentic, it will always work better than trying to follow someone else's rules that's not aligned with yourself. You know, so again, do you? It is very uncrowded and it is definitely the path to your quantum leap because no one is there already. So, what is your playbook? What are your rules? What matters to you? Focus on that. So, operate where and how no one else is because no one else can because you're the only one to be you. So, operate in a way that is aligned with you and that no one can copy because, again, no one else is you. So, there is way less competition out there. So, here is a recap for your quantum leap. First, you calm down. Again, you won't make any interesting or valuable moves if you are burnt out. You won't see anything clearly, and whether you decide to microdose legally or not, meditate, change your diet, exercise, coach, you can coach with me actually, or all of the above, find a way to calm your brain and your nervous system. So that's number one, calm down. The second is get rid of anything that doesn't work in your life and at work. And I think, again, if you're listening to me or if you're reading my newsletter, you have read that many, many times. Get rid of what is not working and, you know, question yourself. And you can see that actually, oh, I should have shown in my book, there are a lot of exercise at the beginning as you define your intention. What is working, what is not working, who and what is not pulling their weight, what is not bringing the value that the inputs would suggest. And that's something I see all the times with solopreneurs, tons and tons of busy work, very little result. So again, you can check out some of my past newsletters or podcasts. And again, don't forget to make a stop at your limiting belief because is there a reason why things are not working? Is it because, well, you're not really trying because you're afraid, or is it because, well, actually, you're trying too hard and you're coming from a place of desperation? So, first thing, release the biggest limiting belief you have and the biggest resistance that are actually preventing you to be authentically yourself. Deprogram yourself. Third, add something new that is your own. Again, not something that someone is telling you to do or not the popular thing on TikTok. Add your own new thing. As I said, you need new inputs. Whether it is bold, whether it is not, it depends on your appetite for risk. And you don't have to stick with it forever, but at least try it for at least 6 weeks because otherwise it's not going to bring a lot of results. But, you know, change. If you don't bring any change, well, you're not quantum looping anywhere. Like you need to change some inputs. and then be on the lookout for your leads to a quantum leap, because it will likely seem small and innocuous at first, but then it can lead you to way bigger and better things. So it's not like 0, 0, 100. It might be 0, 1, 5, 10, 100. So, but you need this first step. So I hope you're ready for change. If you are, again, check out my book, because it's really like a super nice turnkey guide to mindful change, 90 days. And you can integrate, as I say, the legal brain power microdose into the protocol. So it's very legal, and it's a safe and transformative experience, even without the psychedelic. So let's make your quantum leap a reality. Again, check out my website, the Microdose Diet, if you want more information. But this quantum leap is yours. You just need a bit of preparation to make sure it happens. Good luck with that. Bye bye.